Welcome to game 52 of the 1978 Houston Astros replay. The replay that is a what if. What if Cesar Cedeno had not been injured? We've already reached the 192 at-bats that he was afforded that season. The numbers came out incredibly close to the actual results. But now we play on, and we see how he's going to end up when the season is over. I don't know how well this is going to be seen. I've set it up the best I know how. Playing this game at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Silvio Martinez on the mound for the Cardinals. J.R. Richard on the mound for the Astros. Leading off the Astros, Terry Poole. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the first. And we're off. That's going to be a patient out, so 99. In the patient column, it's going to be an out. It's going to be a pop out to the first baseman. And it is, there we go, one away. Next up for the Astros, Cabell. Cabell comes into today hitting .348. He's off to a great start on the season. Cabell has 3 home runs. Yep, sorry, lost the dice. Here we go. Ballpark reading 74 is going to be in play. Versus right-handed Martinez, 42 in play is going to be a pop out to the third baseman. And we have 2 away. Batting third, my guy, Cesar Cedeno. Cedeno comes into today hitting .306. He has 7 home runs. He has 25 stolen bases and 216 at-bats. Cedeno versus Martinez. That's going to be in play, 26, and he's got a base hit. Single for Cedeno. He is on first. Steal check, which is a 6 for him, and he hits it. And so he's an A. And the throwing arm at catcher today for the Cardinals is Ted Simmons. His throwing arm is a 4. So an A against a 4 is going to be excellent. And we draw from the split deck, and Cedeno is safe. So we have a stolen base. 26 on the season for Cedeno. He is now on second base. And we have 2 outs, and the hitter is Jose Cruz. Cheo is hitting .313 on the season for the Astros. Sorry if it comes in and out. I have no controls. Automatic focus. Here we go. That's going to be a patient out, unless it's a walk, and of course it's not. And so we've got to pop out to the first baseman. And that is going to end the Astros half of the first. Go to the bottom of the first, the score. Houston nothing. The Cardinals coming to bat. Leading off for St. Louis, Lou Brock. Brock on that year versus righties only hit .227. Over the course of the season, he hit .221. Only 298 at-bats that year. Only 17 stolen bases. So Brock was 39 years old toward the end of his career in 1978. In our replay, he is hitting .222. That's 6 stolen bases. Here's the pitch against Richard. 6. It's going to be tough. 20. That's a strikeout. And JR sends the first guy back to the dugout. Hitting second is Gary Templeton. Templeton comes in today hitting .260. 9 on Richard is a patient reading. 55. That's going to be a ground out. Well, it's actually going to be a strikeout because Richard has a 50 through 57 on the extra strikeout reading. Second strikeout of the game. So 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts. Brings up George Hendrick. Hendrick comes in hitting .320 on the season. Hendrick also has not hit a home run yet, which is surprising. At 17 and 382 at bats that year. Here's the pitch. 5 patient, 67 on Hendrick. That's going to be a ground out to the second baseman. And we go to the top of the second. And the score is the Astros nothing and the Cardinals nothing. Bob Watson leads off top of the second. Watson, off to a tremendous start on the season, has been in a prolonged slump. He's down to .321. Hit close to .500, it felt like, for forever. Here's the pitch. 5 in play, 31 on Watson, and that is going to be a pop out to the second baseman. 1 down. Hitting second, Art Howell. Howell comes in hitting .319. Sorry about that. Caught the cord. Let me turn this thing again. There we go. 4 on Silvio Martinez is a patient, another patient out, unless it's a walk. 80, it's not going to be a walk, it's just going to be a fly out to the left fielder. We have 2 outs. And that brings up Reggie Baldwin. These are as played lineups except for the changes that I make with Cedeno. So just as they played them on June the 9th, 1978, Reggie Baldwin is up. Here is the pitch, 6, it's going to be in play. Rolls a 16, that is going to be a base hit. So Baldwin has a base hit with 2 outs. Sends him to first base. He has no steal reading, so that's not going to happen. And Jimmy Sexton now has come to the plate. Sexton comes in hitting 204 on the season. Against Martinez, it's going to be a ballpark reading 47 in Busch Stadium. The righty is going to be in play. Sexton's in play roll is a 78, and he has flown out to the center fielder Hendrick. And the Astros half of the second is over. Bottom of the second to score, Astros nothing, Cardinals nothing. Ted Simmons leads off for the Cardinals. Simmons comes in hitting 280. Simmons hit 287 on that season with 22 home runs. It's a tough reading off Richard's card, 25. That's going to be a base hit, a single. Simmons is on first. Has no steal rating, so he stays right there. Keith Hernandez, the lefty, now hitting against Richard. 11, tough. 15, that is going to be a strikeout. And that's 1 down. That brings up Jerry Morales. Morales right now hitting. Where's Morales hitting? Where's he at? 245. Patient, 66. That is going to be a G4. Double play 8, double play 6, double play 6. Chance on the double play, and he got it. That's a G4. It's a ground out second baseman. Double play, so we go Howell to Sexton to Watson, and the inning is over. Top of the third, Astros nothing, Cardinals nothing. J.R. Richard is off to a good start, and he is now at the plate. He's a pitcher's hitting 10. Here we go. That's going to be a patient out unless he walked, and he did walk. So J.R. Richard draws the walk, and Martinez commits the Cardinal sin. You can't walk the pitcher. Man on first, nobody out. Terry Poole is up. Terry Poole. That's going to be a tough reading, 81. Fly out to the center fielder Hendrick, and there's 1 away. Enos Cabell. In play, 35 on Cabell. Pop out to the second baseman. Tyson settles underneath it. And we have 2 outs here in the third, and that brings up Cedeno again. Cedeno had a base hit first time up. 3, that's going to be wheelhouse, 37 gone. Cedeno pops his 8th home run of the season, and the Astros Jose Cruz, he's the lefty. Cruz versus Martinez. And that's going to be a patient out unless, and it's going to be an out. Martinez has it's a pop out to the first baseman. That's going to end the inning. We move to the bottom of the third. The score, the Astros 2, the Cardinals nothing. Ken Reitz, really good third baseman, 270 average so far in our replay. Here's the pitch to Reitz. It's a tough reading, 82, and that's going to be an out. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, and there's 1 down. Next up for the Cardinals, Mike Tyson. Tyson only hitting 198 so far in the replay. 7, it's going to be a tough reading, 44. And the tough, that's going to be ground out to first baseman Watson. There's 2 down. And that brings up the pitcher, Silvio Martinez, who is a 5-hitter. That's a tough reading, and that's going to be a strikeout. We move to the top of the fourth. The Cardinals so far no runs on one hit. The Astros 2 runs on the Cedeno homer. 3 hits. Bob Watson leads off his 4th inning. That's a patient out unless he walked, and he did not. And so pop out the first baseman. I need to refresh my memory on, I know it's not just a walk that you change the automatic patient reading, but right now I don't need it, so I'm not going to look it up yet. Art Howe, he's a righty. Howe versus Martinez. That's a patient reading, just a regular patient reading, 58, and he hit him. I think hit by pitch, that's the other one. Walker hit by pitch, that's exactly right. Well, he just had a hit by pitch. Howe's on first base, his steal is a 2D. I don't even know if I want to send him, I don't, but he didn't get a reading anyway. So man on first with 1 out. Reggie Baldwin now comes to the plate. That's a patient out unless he walked, but 17, that would have been a double, but he's an out. Pop out to the first baseman again. So Martinez has a good card. He had a 3.64 ERA and 138 innings. Jimmy Sexton is up. He's a righty now with 2 outs. That's ballpark reading. That's going to be an in play for Sexton, 90, and that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, Templeton. The Astros are done. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Houston 2. Cardinals still looking for their first run. Lou Brock leads off. Bottom of the 4th inning. J.R. Richard dealing so far today. 4. Ballpark. That's going to be an in-play reading on Brock. Roll to 20. That's going to be a base hit. Single for Brock. He's on first base. Still reading 4. Does not get the lead, so he's not going anywhere. Templeton. He is a he's a lefty because he's a switch hitter. 10, patient, 15, and now this is what, it's a walk. This is what JR's been doing so far this season. In the replay, he's got a 3.53 ERA. A lot of strikeouts, but he's walked a ton of hitters. He has walked 62 batters in 89 innings. George Hendrick is up with 1 out, runners with nobody out. Runners at first and second. Richard needs an out here. 6 is tough reading, 57. That's going to be a base hit. That's a single. With runners on first and second. The runner at second has a choice. It's a base hit to center field. Brock. His run rating is a 7. Cedeno's arm in center field is a 7. So below 7 or below, he's going to be safe. We want to chance it with nobody out, or we just want to load him up. Down 2 runs. Try Brock. We're going to try him. Here we go. Thrown out at the plate. So, base hit to center field. Runner on second is out. And so now we have runners at first and second with 1 out. Maybe not a good chance on my part, but I thought, man, I think Brock would have tried it. Ted Simmons is up. Simmons hitting left-handed as well. Tough reading, rare play. Can I just admit, I think the rare plays add something, and I use them, but I'm just not a big fan of rare plays in baseball sims. I don't know why. I'm just not. I guess because it's not statistics based necessarily given the players. So I've got to find this. Hold on. With base, somebody on base, runners on base, and the reading was tough. Let's see what we got here. How's this going to turn out? Runners on base, tough. Roll a 5. That's if 7th inning or later. It is not. Strike zones become increasingly larger. All tough results for both teams are automatic strikeouts for the remainder of the game. If 6th inning or earlier, all tough results for this pitcher are automatic strikeouts for the remainder of the inning only. Okay, so I don't know if I re-roll that now. It didn't say he struck out, so I'm going to re-roll it. But for the rest of the inning, all tough readings are strikeouts. So Ted Simmons back up. Here we go. 11 is a tough reading, so he's out. That's a strikeout. That's 2 outs, and that brings up Keith Hernandez. 9, that's a patient reading, but that's out. He's not going to get anything there. 85, too high a roll, ground out to the second baseman, Howe, and the Astros are out of the inning. So we move to the top of the 5th, 2-0 Houston. Cardinals had a couple of hits, just couldn't convert them. J.R. Richard leading things off here to start the 5th. Patient out, and he didn't walk, so that's going to be a fly out to the left fielder. And we have 1 down. Next up, Terry Poole. I wonder if I turn this light off, if you'll get a less glared view. Yeah, but I don't know if the camera's going to zoom in better. Wish I could get a little bit closer for you. Let's see if I can. Just a second. Let me adjust this. Oh, it's not that one. Hold on. Adjusting the wrong part, I think. All right. I think it might be a little too close. Sorry about that. Can we get it all in the picture? I don't think we can. So let's move it back up just a little bit. I think that might be about as good as we can do. All right. So, where were we? We have 1 out. Terry Poole is up now. Terry Poole. Up to the plate. Here we go. 6 in play. 39. That's going to be a pop out to the third baseman. And we have 2 outs. And that brings up Cabell. Enos Cabell. Hitting 345. Here's the pitch. That's going to be wheelhouse 25. That's a double. Double for Cabell. So he's standing on second base now. And Cedeno comes to the plate. Has a home run in this game. Let's see what he can do here. We have 2 outs. Runner at second. The pitch 12. Ballpark 25. That's going to be another wheelhouse. 1 through 40 is a home run. It's gone. Cedeno hits his second home run of the game. And the Astros are up 4-0. Let Martinez, his fatigue's 7. We'll let him finish this inning and then look to the bullpen. Try to get through the inning. Jose Cruz, try to save the bullpen. Something I've noticed playing these as played lineups is that the bullpen's sometimes a little bit thin. I know the Astros bullpen has been thin. By the way, that's the Busch Stadium card there. You can see the wheelhouse reading. Cruz. 8. Patient out. 08 is a walk, so there's no out. Walk hit by pitch, he gets the walk. Steal 4. He's got it. He's a B, and the arm is 4. A B4 is an excellent chance, and we draw the split card. See if you can see that, and you'll see that he's safe. So stolen base for Cruz. Standing on second. Can Martinez get out of this inning? We've got 2 outs. Bob Watson is the hitter. Trying to get him through it. We'll see. 11. Defense. 08 on the defense. It's going to be a range check. That's the second baseman's range. It's going to be Mike Tyson. What's his range? His range is a D. And so 1 through 57 is a base hit. And it's a base hit with a runner on second, and there's 2 outs. And Cruz's run rating, if it's 6 or more, he scores. It's a 6. So he scores first base, 2 stars, and we got another run. That's going to be it. I just can't let Martinez keep going. Skipper comes out to pull him. They have seen enough. Silvio Martinez cannot make it through. So, who we got in our bullpen? George Frazier is a long reliever and he hasn't gone in a while. Buddy Schultz is a long reliever, he hasn't gone in a while. Mark Littell is more of a closer, so we're going to go George Frazier, the right-hander, will come in relief of Martinez. Frazier on this season, the replay has a 5.87 ERA in 7 innings, so not enough innings to really know. Art Howe, up to the bat, up to the plate, 2 outs, 5-0. Here's the pitch. 8, tough reading, 33. That's a base hit. That's a single with a runner on first. And he advances just 1 base. The way I've chosen to play the fat cards, if the runner's on second, I play a 2-out rule. Otherwise, I pretty much just let the fat cards determine how the runners advance. Reggie Baldwin is up now. Still trying to get out of this inning, man. They are just not getting out of it. 8 tough reading again. 85 is going to get him out of it this time. Ground ball to the shortstop. Templeton makes the play to first. And his throw over to Hernandez gets the Cardinals finally delivered. Bottom of the 5th to score. Astros 5, Cardinals nothing. Jerry Morales leads off the bottom of the 5th for the Cardinals. Now they're big deficit to Richard. Tough reading, 49 on Morales. That's going to be a line out to the shortstop. And we have 1 down. I'm a lifelong strat guy, but I have gotten to where I really, really enjoy payoff pitch. It's a great sim. Ken Reitz, 3 on Richard, patient reading, 76. And that's going to be a fly out to Cedeno. And that's 2 outs, fly out to the center fielder. And that brings up Mike Tyson. 11, that's a tough reading, 75. That's going to be a fly out to Cedeno. And the Cardinals, just like that, are done. We go to the top of the 6th, 5-0. Houston. Jimmy Sexton leads it off. Top of the 6th inning. Tough reading, 87. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop Templeton, and we got 1 down. JR, his fatigue is 8, so he's got a ways to go, and he hasn't given up a run anyway. 7 in play, 67 for the 10 card. That is obviously an out. That's going to be a ground out to the second baseman. Tyson makes the play, and we have 2 down. And back around comes Terry Poole, whose average has fallen to 282. Patient, 23. He's going to walk. He's on first base. Steal check. He's a 4. Does not get it. Cabell, he is a righty against Frazier. 5 in play. 87 is going to be a ground out to Templeton over to Hernandez, and that is it for the Astros. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Score, Houston 5, St. Louis nothing. And the pitcher is up, Frazier, and so we're going to be pinch hitting for him. Pinch hitting for George Frazier, let's see, versus a right-handed pitcher. I like to use WAR ratings to try to figure out the best choices I have. I've got a lefty, Mike Phillips. I'm going to bring him up to pinch hit. There he is, Mike Phillips. Another thing I love about this sim is that every player is carded. I love that. Mike Phillips versus J.R. Richard. The pinch hitter, 12. That's going to be a tough reading, 55. And that falls within the extra strikeout numbers for Richard, so that's a strikeout. And we have 1 gone. So far on the day, Richard has, let's see, where's today's? output. Oh, 5 innings, 6 strikeouts in 5 1/3. Lou Brock is up, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Brock had a hit earlier. This tough reading, 45, and that is going to end up being a ground out to the first baseman, Watson. And there's 2 down. And that brings up Gary Templeton. 5 is a patient reading. 08, he is going to walk. Templeton is on first. Steal check up for 5. Nope. So he's not going anywhere. And that brings up Hendrick. Runner on first, 2 outs. That's a tough reading. A 60. And that is going to be a fly out to the right fielder, Cruz. And the Cardinal half of the 6th is over. We go to the top of the 7th to score. Astros 5, Cardinals nothing. Cedeno leads off. Today he's 3 for 3, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base. I'd say it's a pretty nice day. Oh, got to replace the pitcher, forgot. Now the other long reliever comes in, Buddy Schultz. He's lefty. Amazingly, Cedeno is better against righties as a right-handed hitter than he is against lefties. So as a Cedeno fan, I'm a little disappointed that I need to bring in Schultz, but I do. Could run that 3 for 3 day. Schultz is the pitcher. Cedeno has 2 home runs today. Unreal. Put that where you can see it maybe. Here we go. Schultz. 6, tough reading, 90. And that is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. So they finally get Cedeno out. There's one gone. Here in the top of the 7th. Jose Cruz. Buddy Schultz this year in my replay has a 5.57 ERA. Cardinals are 29 and 28. Astros come in 26 and 25. Cruz, 7, tough reading, 25 against the left-hander. That's a strikeout. That's 2 down. This game handles pitcher-hitter interaction masterfully, and I think it even handles the left-right splits masterfully. Bob Watson is up. Here we go. 8, tough reading, 55 against the lefty. No extra readings, so that's going to be a ground out to the third baseman. Reitz heads it over to first base to Hernandez, and the Astros are done. Bottom of the 7th, 5-0. Richard has given up only 3 hits. Ted Simmons has 1 of those. He's 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. Tough reading, 97. That is going to be a fly out to left fielder Poole. Next up, Keith Hernandez, a lefty. Hernandez, 0 for 2 today. Tough reading, 91. That is going to be a ground out to the second baseman, Howe, and we have 2 gone. And that brings up Morales, the 1978 St. Louis Cardinals. There's the reading, 5. Patient, 14. That's going to be a walk. Morales' steal check is a 3. He's a D. He doesn't get it. So he's on first base with 2 outs, and that brings up Ken Reitz. 3, patient, 76. And that's going to be a fly out to Cedeno. I like to say he wasn't patient enough. And we go to the top of the 8th. And the score is 5-0 Houston. JR's headed toward a complete game if he keeps this up. Art Howe leads it off. Howe's 1 for 2 today, hitting .321. 7 is a tough reading off Schultz. 21 gets the lefty, strikes out, 1 down. Buddy Schultz doing a good job today. Reggie Baldwin or up to the plate rather. Here's Baldwin. That's going to be a tough reading. 16 versus the lefty. That's a single. A 13 through 22 single range versus the lefty, and so he's on first base. No steal possibility. He's on first. Brings up Jimmy Sexton with 1 out. 5, that's a patient reading, and that's an 08, and that's going to be a walk. So now we've got runners at first and second for the pitcher, J.R. Richard. Let's let him swing away. Think about bunting him, but I think we'll go ahead and Just let him swing away. 11 is a tough reading. It's going to be a strikeout. That's 2 outs. He strikes out the pitcher, and that brings up Terry Poole. 2 outs. There's first and second. Schultz trying to keep it semi-close. Tough reading, 66. And we've got a ground out to the shortstop, Templeton, over to Hernandez, and that ends the Astros half of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, Astros 5, Cardinals nothing. Mike Tyson, he is 0 for 2 today. First time up, he grounded out to the first baseman. Second time up, he flew out center field. I love the digital diamond baseball. It just keeps all that stuff in front of you. Very nice. Tyson, he's a righty. 6 is a tough reading, 76. We've got a fly out to Cedeno. 1 down. And the pitcher's up, and we're pinch hitting for Schultz. And this time we're going to go with Jerry Mumphrey. Let's find Mumphrey's card. So the bullpen for the Cardinals has actually done a pretty good job, but they just can't score runs right now. Mumphrey is up. We have 1 out, and Mumphrey steps to the plate. Steps to the dish. Here is the pitch. 8, tough reading, 43. That's a single off of JR. So we made a good choice on the pinch hitter. And Mumphrey's on first. 4D on the steal rating. He does not get an opportunity. So man on first base. 1 out. Lou Brock. Tough reading, 92. Fly out to the right fielder, Cruz. 2 down. Templeton. He is a lefty. 12, tough. 92. And we've got a ground out to the shortstop, Sexton. And the Cardinals are done. We go to the top of the 9th. 5-0 Astros. Enos Cabell will lead off, but the Cardinals have to go to the pen. And let's see who else they might have available. Always have to check, see who's in the rotation. Right here shows the rotation, and we've got Forsh, Denny, Vukovic, Martinez again, so they're all off limits. With a 5-run deficit, I don't want to use the closer, so let's go with John Urea. Kind of although he's got a 3.07 ERA in our sim, he had a 5+ in real life. Kind of use that save the bullpen guy in games like this. Cabell is up, top of the 9th. Here's the pitch. 4, patient, 90. Urea's a righty, and so we've got a ground out to Templeton to the shortstop. There's 1 down. Cedeno 3 for 4 in this game, now hitting .314 with 8 home runs. 9 home runs. He had 2. I forgot to do this game. Here's the pitch. 9 in play, 64, and we've got a fly out to the right fielder. Jerry Morales makes the play, and Jose Cruz. Although we're in St. Louis, they wouldn't be saying that. So here we go. 6, patient, 33. That's a walk. Cruz on first. Steal check. He's a 4. No. And that brings up Bob Watson. 9 in play, and that is a fly out to the left fielder, Lou Brock. Bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Cardinals, trailing 5-0. George Hendrick starts it off against J.R. Richard. And here we go. It's a tough reading, 75. And he flies out to Cedeno in center field, and there's 1 down. 2 more chances. Ted Simmons steps to the plate. Don't you hate it when you drop those? Where did that go? I'll find it in a second. I'll just grab another one. Make sure this is the right kind of dice. Yep. Let's do it again. That's patient, but not patient enough. He grounds out to the shortstop. And that's 2 down. And that brings up Keith Hernandez, last chance for the Cardinals. Here we go. Tough reading, 21, and Richard strikes out the last hitter. That's the ball game. Final score, Houston 5, St. Louis nothing. Take a quick look at the box score after we save this. JR. Richard goes 9 innings, gave up 4 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He finished the day with a 3.30 ERA. So he started off kind of with a high ERA, but he's coming way, right down to his number. He's 3.11 on that season in real life. And of course, Cedeno is the player of the game in this one. He had 2 home runs, his 8th and 9th of the season, drove in 4 runs, puts him at 34 for the season. Stole a base, puts him at 26 for the season. Cruz stole a base as well, gives him 8 on the year. Cabell had his 15th double on the year. So the Astros advance now to a record of 27-25 after 52 games. Thank you for joining me.